Welcome. You are about to review a detailed description of the two millage proposals for the Romulus Community School District, which will be voted upon at the August 8, 2017 election. Since 2008, state funding for Romulus schools has significantly decreased by $531 per pupil. Although all district employees took large pay concessions, operating costs such as utilities and repairs have increased and outpaced state funding. We're going to talk about two separate but very important proposals. Let's talk a moment about ballot language. Your school district fully understands that ballot language can be confusing. The wording you see on all ballot proposals, whether they be school, city, county, or state level issues, is controlled by the state of Michigan. We are required to use the wording you see. As you will see later, although we are seeking under this wording authority for 2.5 mils, we most recently levied only 1.3137 mils. It might be helpful to know the history of hold harmless millages. Back in 1994, when Proposal A was passed, the state established a per-pupil foundation grant for every student in the state. Romulus and about 10 other school districts were already above that threshold due to the investment our community had placed in the schools. State law permitted those districts, with voter approval, to levy hold harmless millages so we would not have to decimate our programming because of the lower allowance. At that time, voters approved 13 mills. A subsequent election reduced that levy to 8.99 mils, followed by another election lowering it to 5.1314 mils. Now we're asking for a maximum levy of 2.5 mils. It is important to note that we levied in 2016 only 1.3137 mils as we leveraged the local collection against state dollars available, transferring some tax burden from our local taxpayers and utilizing state funds to make up the difference. Your school board has been diligent in keeping your levy as low as possible. The district adjusts the current actual levy amount depending on the supplemental funding and at-risk funding the district applies and qualifies for through the state of Michigan. As you can see, the request is for 10 years. This protects you, the taxpayer, from a sudden large increase in your levy. It also provides the district with a stable levy authorization so your tax dollars are not spent more frequently on elections. Again, as this chart shows, our revenue from the hold harmless levy has sharply declined from its peak in 2008. This is in large part due to your district leaders actively seeking state grants to offset what we would normally have assessed locally. The sinking fund millage on the ballot will take effect in 2018. We currently levy 0.75 mils, which is just not enough to address the significant needs we have to repair and maintain our facilities. As you can see, this levy cannot be used for salaries, pensions, benefits, or supplies. Again, the ballot language you see here is required wording from the state of Michigan. You'll note that the wording contains, quote, purchase of real estate, end quote, and construction. At this time, and for the foreseeable future, your district will not be in a need or position to acquire land or build new buildings. This is part of what the funds can be used for, so it must be included in the language. This proposal will provide the district with a stable source of revenue that we can properly budget to address the needs we have. An example would be that, knowing that we had a reliable source of funding, we can seek out through the competitive bidding process those projects that aren't of an emergency nature. That alone will stretch your dollars even further. As the chart illustrates, sinking fund revenues expired in 2011, and the voters restored 0.75 mils in 2012. That small revenue has been stagnant as property values have not kept pace with inflation, and simply put, there is not enough revenue to address the significant needs we have. Again, due to the very limited amount of sinking fund revenues, emergency repairs come from the general fund, which then reduces the amount we have available to direct to classroom instructions, programs, and supplies, which directly affect your children. Let's take a look at some of the things your sinking dollars have paid for. It is important to note that these items were emergency repairs in most cases, and further work will be needed to make those repairs complete. This slide shows a list of things that we've accomplished. In the next few slides, you will see what your dollars are doing to help your investment in your community. Here you see a few students using their new computer lab at Barth Elementary School. This is a wider view of the computer lab at Barth, showing the complete room renovation. Here's a final look of the view of the lab, with the repaired walls and new flooring before the decorating took place and the students started using. Here you see underground pipe repair in the tunnels under the high school, including a new hot water heater for the gymnasium area. Until this past year, there was not a shutoff valve at the high school for the water. If a break happened, we would have to wait for the city to come out and shut off the water at Wayne Road. This installation was necessary to prevent catastrophic damage to the building should we have more pipes fail. This is a temporary repair to a broken water main at one of our buildings. This is the cafeteria or multi-purpose room at Hale Creek. The tile flooring was cracked, broken, lifting, and sinking in areas. The floor was completely resurfaced to make it safe for your children. This is parking lot improvement at Corey School. Since Wayne County runs programs out of that building, they paid all but $15,000 of the resurfacing cost of this lot. That is your school district maximizing opportunities to partner with others to get you the most value for your tax dollars. These pictures are more replaced underground pipe in the tunnels of the high school. This shows a heater box at the bus yard. Buses plug into these to warm their diesel engines in the winter. The picture on the right is not a result of vandalism. It is original equipment that simply grew old and unsafe. We've taken care of that safety problem. As this slide shows, there are many projects that need immediate attention. The district simply does not have the general fund dollars available to allocate to address these needs. We need our community to continue to protect their investment and keep our facilities safe for our children to attend school. By providing the sinking fund revenue, it will provide a stable source of funding so that we can budget these repairs while freeing up general fund dollars to force more funds into the classrooms where they will impact your child's education. Here's a slide showing obvious and serious roof leaks. The brown areas on the pipes show moisture penetrating the insulation of those pipes, which means they must be replaced. Some of our buildings still have original fixtures in them, which, over time, rust out and fail. The sink falling off the wall, in addition to being a safety hazard, is indicative of a failure of the wall behind it being able to support it. This slide shows before and after pictures of flooring that had sunken due to foundation shifting and had to be torn out and replaced. The stairway you see here is at the middle school where the safety anti-slip surface has outlived its ability to be safe, and we've temporarily bandaged the problem until funds are available to fully repair it. Several of our schools have windows that leak and caused internal structural damage in the process. Here we have an uneven floor due to settling, and the doors with the lock bar on them do not lock properly due to their age and condition. This is a safety issue that must be addressed. Many of our facilities are in need of major asphalt and/or concrete repair or replacement for the safety of our students, faculty, and visitors. Here you'll see another area of failed concrete that is unsafe for pedestrian traffic. The cost of the sinking fund millage is only $3 per $1,000 of taxable value of your home, which is typically one-half the sale value of your home. It's a small amount to pay to see the huge impact it will have on helping preserve your investment in your school district's facilities. This is information from the 2009 facilities study done by Barton Malow. We have not addressed many of the issues from this study, only those of emergency nature. You'll notice that the study was 8 years ago and identified $17 million worth of repairs. The list, unfortunately, has grown significantly. You'll also notice there are no dollars listed in this study for technology infrastructure. We must make many upgrades to provide our students with the tools and access they need to be successful students. We thank you for taking the time to watch this informational presentation. Please remember to vote on August 8th. Contact the district via their website, www.romulus.net, if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you.